Hi, welcome to Steph Talk TV. This is episode 1 of my series on addiction. Today we'll be discussing the impact addiction has on families. Join me and my special guest, Stephanie Smith, as she tells her story on how addiction has affected her family. Stay tuned. Welcome to Steph Talk TV. Today's guest is Stephanie Smith, an inspiring and resilient woman. She is a nurturing and loving mother, sister, and daughter of a fabulous woman that I love so much, Miss Ima Jean. She's a cancer survivor. She is a grandmother, a mother of 5, right, Stephanie? 5 children and a grandmother of 7, right?
I have been given 7 Grammy Awards, baby. 7.
Grammy, and you look amazing, okay? To be and she's triumphed over adversity. I am so proud to have her on the show today. I am excited to introduce you to the magnificent, excellent cook. That is her passion. She's passionate about everything she does. That's what I love the most about her, and she's so nurturing and kind. Welcome the incredible Stephanie Smith.
Thank you. Wow, I feel like a celebrity.
You are. You are a celebrity. So how are you doing?
I am awesome, baby. I am awesome.
Yeah, you look amazing.
I'm so proud of you. This right
Thank
here.
you.
The journey you're on, I'm so ready to take it with you.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
So what we're covering today is the topic of addiction. Something very near and dear to both of our hearts. We bonded because of, we bonded way before this. We've been knowing each other for 30 years, over literally 30 years. She's known me since I was 17 and I'm 55 now. So, and she doesn't look a day over 40, huh? So this is a journey that is really near and dear to us because we have children who are struggling with addiction and we believe they're going to overcome. Stephanie has been a caregiver for her grandchildren, so that's why I'm having her on, because I'm hoping that she will be a blessing and an inspiration to those grandparents out there or parents who have children struggling with addiction. So can you share a bit about how you came to take on the responsibility of taking care of your grandchildren?
Sure can. My oldest granddaughter is 18, just turned 18. And I have been fighting this fight with my daughter since she was born. So when my daughter was a teenager, she is 39 now. So she had Mariah when she was 20. So when she finished high school, I don't know, she just started getting high. All of a sudden, and as somebody, let me start by saying this. I am not perfect. I have tried all kinds of things in my youth. And in my life, as far as alcohol, narcotics, marijuana, I am not a saint by any means. So for her to be doing these things, I didn't judge her. I just didn't know that it was spiraling. So because it didn't spiral for me.
I completely understand.
I know everybody ain't like me, and that's a lesson, number 1, that I had to learn. That everybody does not respond. Just because that's your child does not mean that your child responds to the same things the way that you do. I looked at her like, girl, put that cigarette down. Put that beer down. Or put that joint down if you got to get up and go to work. She didn't have that ability, and I did not know that. So when I started to see her slipping, at that point, really, it's too late. When I saw her slipping, and Mariah, I'm going to take you back to one time when my son and I, my oldest son, Jerome, and I were living in Atlanta. We was living in College Park, Atlanta. Right, that's where Mariah came around. Jerome came upstairs, and he's screaming, Mom, Mom, Mom. I'm like, what? It scared me to death. I would run to the door. He said, Mom, and he's got Mariah. At the time, she was probably 1. Okay, so he comes running upstairs. He says, Mom. I'm like, I panicked. I'm like, what is wrong? He got Mariah in his arms. She was downstairs. Now, she wasn't 1, my bad, because she couldn't walk, so she was less than 1. She was months. She was on the couch. Had she just rolled over and fell, number 1, she'd have been injured. Number 2, who are these guys that's in this apartment? Number 3, basically should have been number 1, where is your mother? Where is your mom? She couldn't tell you. Jerome said he sat there and waited for a half an hour, so he brought the baby upstairs. That was when I knew. And like I said, it was.
And then, so when did you decide to take them all in?
That's when I knew she had a problem. That's when I knew I was probably going to have to step up and eventually do this. But she dipped. She left. Mm-hmm. She left Atlanta and went to St. Louis. Mm-hmm. She moved with the guy that she was seeing down there in Atlanta. College Park. And she moved to St. Louis. And that's where Sanaya came about. Mm-hmm. Now, the next time I heard from her, she was calling me, asking me for a bus ticket to California because we had moved back to California. Sanaya was born. So that was a couple of years later. And when she got there, she had no place to stay, no nothing. I let her stay with me. Next thing I know, she disappears and she left the kids. That's when I had to take care of the kids because she left them. She had Mariah and Sanaya. She would disappear for 2-3 days. No, nothing. Just, I'm like, baby, what is going on? Then it got really stressful between her and I because I'm like, you cannot do these babies like this. And they've been with me ever since. Off and on ever since. More on than off.
Mm-hmm. What's been the hardest part of stepping back into the parenting role? Because you had a nice little gap before you this on again. So stepping back into you thinking you're done with parenting. You're done with taking kids to school.
It was not easy. I realized, I said, okay, when I was in Cali, I was over in Corona. And she was living with me then. She had twins. Okay, at this point now, she done had, mind you, Rudy has 5 kids. Mm-hmm. 6 now, because she just had little Rose and she's so cute. Mm-hmm. She has 6 children.
I saw the picture of the twins on Facebook. They were that was such an adorable picture, man.
Girl, they are so grown. I haven't seen them in years.
Right.
That's a whole nother story. All right, let's leave that one over there.
We'll do part 2.
We got probably part 9. This is a lifestyle. Understand, when you're dealing with somebody that is an addict, not someone that just uses, and no, someone that has an addiction, this is going to change your lifestyle, their lifestyle, and everyone else's lifestyle.
It extends to beyond just the immediate household as well. It goes to friends. They gain and lose friends so quickly. I know, I have one. So I understand this story.
I had to find people and reach out to my friends to babysit for me.
Yes.
The last time I needed a babysitter. What you mean you need a babysitter? Girl, my dating life was done. Don't nobody want nobody around a woman my age with, what you mean you got a 6-year-old?
We don't want nobody with a 6-year-old. Grandchildren, they are an extension, but it's still responsibility.
Girl,
so it affects all aspects of your life.
Then I had to figure out how to get school clothes, school supplies, Christmas, Christmas come up. We got birthdays. We have day activities. These are all things that I'm retired now. Mind you, I get sick in all of this. Yeah. When I moved back from the South, that's when I had my first brain aneurysm, and that was in 2009, October 11, 2009. Them kids came after that.
Yes,
to injury. I was still healing. I'm still trying to heal.
But because you are a healer, the things that irritate us the most are the things that we are called to make a resolution for. So that's your thing, is to heal. And I think there's a grace that comes with being able to get a second chance to raise another generation, to get things right. I think grandparents get a second chance. To get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
They spoil the grandchildren. Don't have to flex. They know better. That you don't have to do certain things anymore to make your point to children.
That's if they know better. Right. See, my grandchildren were not raised.
Right.
They were fed. She was just feeding them and breeding them.
But you raised them.
Somewhat. I didn't really raise them because it was an off and on situation. Everything I created, when she got them back, it was dissolved. Gotcha. There's no discipline. There's no responsibility. We had to do chores. And when they come and stay with me, they got to do stuff. Mm-hmm. But when she comes and stays with us, I'll say, whose night is it to do the dishes? Don't worry about it, Mom. I got it. And then I go and the dishes ain't done.
Right.
Okay, so she's unteaching them the fact that you have a responsibility. Wherever you go, you have to clean up after yourself. Don't worry about it, Mom. I got it. I mean, she didn't want me to tell them to do anything when she was with them. But I wanted her to be with them because them your kids.
Right. But we know that she has an illness. And so that's a part of that too.
I was in denial when it comes to an illness. I'm still thinking in my mind, girl, just stop drinking. Look, the bottle is here. Have a drink to here, and then put it down. She don't know how to do that. And I didn't realize that her mindset is if it's any alcohol left in there, oh, it's got to be drank.
And then there's another bottle someplace else. I'm going to drink that too. I'm going to drink that one too. Sometimes it's genetics, and it comes down the pipeline, and it's skips a generation and hits to the next one very hard. This is the thing. You would never think, oh my goodness, but that's why you never say, not my child. You just know.
Never say never.
What are the different emotions that you experienced along the way? And then how did you come to a place of peace or understanding of what she's dealing with?
It's also in her DNA. Her daddy a crackhead. He a crackhead cop. Yes. However, I left him when she was an infant, so she really was not raised around him. Mm-hmm. But I can see, girl, DNA is something else. Mm-hmm. The way she breathes, and it comes from both sides. Yeah, but see,
has on his father currently struggling with addiction, but at the same time, I lost a brother to an overdose. My father was an alcoholic. And all my life, I didn't drink until like my 30s and 40s. And then I took it on heavy because of stress and thinking that it would help me cope. And now I don't even think about having a drink. And I'm grateful for it. But you know what I'm saying? But so that's what our children are dealing with. They're dealing with like extreme addictive personalities. It'll take time for them. And then being young, I hear the younger they are, the harder it is.
The thing that gets me is when I talked to her before, and you just said it, and I just, I can't connect that. It's, okay, so you got a problem or issues or whatever, and then I got to drink, Mom. I just want to, why drink though? Well, I don't understand. What do you think the alcohol's going to do? It's going to get me drunk. That's it? Okay, so once it gets you drunk, then what? I just don't understand that mindset. Well, and I never will.
When I realized I had an addicted child, I went down the complete hole. And him being addicted to alcohol and drugs, they drink it every day. If they don't have it, they can die.
What you call it? Withdrawals. They can go into withdrawals. Yeah.
Alcohol withdrawals are worse than drug withdrawals. That's why they go from one to the other, because one is up and one is down. One brings the other down.
But my thing I did not realize the problem.
They're not thinking about a solution. That's why we're here having this conversation. Hopefully this can reach and help others. But I've had to do a lot of research on my own, because when I went to look for help, I joined groups like CODA because I was codependent. I just had to really lean in and, okay, I can't expect this person to get a resolution for this situation that I know nothing about, because he is sick. Yeah. But what I do have to do is my due diligence and let him know I love him like you let your daughter know you work for me. And it might not work for everybody. Tough love work for me. That type of experiences do you have as far as your emotions, and was there anger and sadness, or
absolutely
get embarrassed? It's
absolutely. My anger was with her about what her kids are not getting. I kept saying to her, Rudy, why is it okay for you? Because baby, she was on the streets. It was okay for her to sleep in the park. When have you ever been homeless like this, to where I put on God has blessed me enough to tell me you will never be homeless like that, because I'm giving you the senses to know you can do the smallest thing to make sure you're not sleeping on the cement and knock on somebody's door and ask for help. Why wouldn't she do that? Them kids, she had my babies in the park. She got mad. She had my babies in the park. Mariah, Sanaya, Xavier. Xavier was 9. And Mariah's probably about 15, 16, and Mariah's in between there somewhere. 13, 14, something like that. In the park. They both, the two girls got up. You know, Xavier, he was probably knocked out. He didn't have no problem sleeping in park. A boy, kid, he's cool. This is fun to him.
Children are resilient.
Girl, them two girls got up. Next thing I know, I hear this. 3 o'clock in the morning. Grammy, yes, baby, what are y'all doing? Can we sleep here? Because we don't want to sleep in the park. Why they had blankets and pillows and everything with them. Their mama had them walking around the mall with everything they belonged. And they were so, girl. Whoa, what
was that like having them come to the door? Like, were you angry? Did you cry?
I had so many emotions at that moment. It was, first off, it's 3 in the morning, somebody knocking on my door, waking me up. So I'm like, oh my Lord, what is this? I get up and it's my 2 granddaughters, girl, with pillows and towels and everything wrapped. I'm like, what in the world are y'all doing here? Then, right. And then, girl, I just held them. That's all I could do. I just said, y'all come inside. I was so mad at her. I brought them inside. And, you know, of course, I can't show that to them. I just had to let them know this is your safe haven. You can come here. You can cry. You can dump. You can eat. You can do whatever you need to do whenever you need to do it any time of your life. I don't care what time it is. Yeah. That was the last time I let her have them kids back.
Okay.
Before this last time here, when I gave them, I'm like, she broke the deal. So they stayed with me. I got them in school. Like I said, this is it. I had to get, now mind you, Xavier had missed, he was in the 1st grade. He missed the 2nd and the 3rd grade. Now he's in the 4th grade. Do you understand how basic those 2 grades are that he completely missed? He had no foundation. Now I have to get a tutor or somebody because I got a job. I got to go to work.
Right.
Okay, so I got to.
Not to mention, even if he was in a normal situation, depending on his learning ability, the 3rd and 4th grade are formative. You know, those are very important. Yes, those are like you said, the basics. That's where you get your fundamentals. Yeah,
exactly. You know, he couldn't spell, he couldn't read. So Mia's Jamal's daughter, right? She comes up behind him and she's picking up books talking about 455 Industrial Boulevard, La America. And he's looking at her like, do you know how crushed my heart? I'm like, that's okay, baby. So I had to buy him those. Mind you, I keep talking about money I'm spending. Okay? I had to buy him those books or go to the library and get those books for him to sit down. Then I had to spend time. One of us had to. You know, the kids, the girls, for him to catch up. I had to get him a tutor. I had to go to the school and tell him, look, he's this far behind. Let's get him caught up. And I was baking cookies and doing everything for these teachers to make them happy so that they wouldn't put him back and make him feel humiliated. They put him through certain things. They gave him a whole bunch of work we had to do at home to catch up. Yeah. Same thing with them girls, right? So that right there was mostly where my emotions come from, is to see how the kids are treated by her. And my question to her all the time is, baby, when have you ever been treated like this as a child? When have you ever slept outside? What makes you okay with this?
But in her defense, that's not her.
This, and then also in her defense,
her, like, this is not Rudy. No, she's coming out of it, but that substance creates another individual.
I mean, she even looks different when she tried to play it off whenever she come around me and she would be under the influence of anything. Look, I can tell you what you either drank or smoked. As soon as you come around me, she would not look at me. She would be like, I'm like, Rudy, what's wrong? Huh? You heard me. Come on, man.
What did you have to seek out support systems, and it's not easy, as you know. What support systems have you found to be helpful? Did you find, if any?
God,
right on. That's right. That's
I
real.
had to fall on my knees and literally cry. Do you hear me when I say literally cry?
Yes.
And ask him, God, please, because girl, I was so scared that go get that phone call in the middle of the night telling me that my daughter is dead somewhere.
Yes. Because so many have.
Girl,
because so many have. Yes.
Let me tell you, my friend, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Why? Because girl, Big White, when I was coming through radiation, every morning, he lived in the same apartment complex that I lived in, but he lived across the courtyard. So, the playground, rather. So
who lived across?
This friend of mine, his name was, his name is Big White, but he was rest in peace.
Okay.
Every morning when he found out that I had cancer and I was going through radiation, he was so much support because I was struggling. I was 100 pounds. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I was little and I was having a hard time. Every morning I hear him, "Hey, Steph, time to get up. Go get that radiation, baby." I said, "On my way." He would just push me. I did that every day, Monday through Friday, from April until September. Every day out there in Palm Springs, right? And every day he was there telling me to get up. I got to the end. He said, "Baby, they made this crate thing to put over you when you're going through the radiation, right?" And he said, "When you finish on your last day, we're going to take that body cast and we're going to shoot it up." Because he had an AK. He said, "We're going to shoot it up." I'm like, "Let's do it. Let's do it."
Yeah,
right?
that is liberating.
Girl, so the last day he called, I was like, "Well, why is he not here? I don't see him. Let me go. He did not come and wake me up. He did not say, "Hey, Steph, let's go." And I was like, "What the heck?" Got out to Palm Springs, came back. When I got back, Steph, ambulance, coroner, fire department, everybody out in that parking lot. He had OD on fentanyl.
Oh, man. That was your angel, too. Help you wake up, yes.
The day, girl, I was devastated to see my daughter come, because she knew him, too. He was a dope dealer. To see her come over there telling me, "Mom, that could have been me. I just got high with him yesterday." I'm like,
oh, no, that word, that was not, yeah. Because the sickness, unfortunately, I find in that community, because it is a community for them.
It's a lifestyle, yeah.
They're just happy to have someone to party with. And that's just, doesn't matter the age.
To party with him.
Yes, it doesn't matter the age.
He was a good guy, but he just sold dope. You know what I'm saying? That was his way of coming up. He was a good guy. He had a great soul. I mean, no matter what I needed, he always gave it. And I knew he smoked. I mean, I knew he sold dope. I didn't know she was over there smoking it with him.
Yeah. It's a trip because there's no generation gap when it comes to amphetamines. I'm seeing that, you know, it could be a person 19 in a room with a 50-year-old.
Exactly.
So that's the scary part about it, because you have one should be actually encouraging not to do. Yes,
there
to
you
do
go.
that. Yep.
There you go.
So when it comes to other grandparents, like what advice do you have to offer grandparents who
right now? And the sad part about it is you struggle between, why am I doing this? I'm 63 years old. What am I doing with a baby?
Yeah, but you shouldn't look so young. You shouldn't look so but hey, you know, and then you hyper and energetic. Well, you know, God knew.
And that's all I can see. God put me
here
for a reason.
God knew. Yeah.
He saved me. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, baby.
Yeah.
The devil took the life and he said, "Get up out of here." Put it right back 3 times. And I know, here's the killer. I know that's the fact because when that 3rd time, girl, I felt so cozy when I ended up in the hospital from the aneurysm and was out, the 2nd aneurysm, which was the 3rd time I died. Girl, I felt like so comfortable, like my mom's hugs, and I was like, I'm so not ready to go. And they said, I just kept hearing my mama tell me, "You're not done." She said, "It's not done." I'm like, "What, the pie?" I woke up saying, "The pie, Mom? What pie? It's not done." No, baby, you not done.
We see it as hard work, but it's really grace.
It is.
It's really grace and a privilege to be able to be a solution and a place of refuge for those in need, and especially our own. I mean, need to get back to being more tribal community, or yes, absolutely. What would our ancestors have done in a situation like that? They would have huddled around.
They would have got out there and got rid of the dope dealers. Stop sending these drugs in this thing on neighborhoods.
We are in the most powerful country in the world. We can stop the drugs if we really wanted to.
But
that's a whole nother story. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Don't have me go up on that tangent. Honey.
How do you feel like you created stability for your grandchildren?
The tough love. Right now, okay, so in March of this year, I had to teach them and tell them, you guys understand that nobody on this planet, you got one person that you can completely depend on, and that is God. That's God. Period. And yourself. If that's it, as you see, you have no father, you have a mom sometimes, and I'm not going to be here forever. So learn how to provide for yourself. So
did you teach him any survival?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what did that look like?
That looked like they didn't understand at first, but then I started telling them to speak the truth. Speak the truth. A squeaky wheel will get some oil. So if you have a problem, speak it. If you need some help, ask for it.
Right. A closed mouth don't get fed.
And baby, if somebody asks you to do something, look at that situation from the beginning to the end. Is this going to benefit me or not? Every decision you make has a consequence and a benefit.
That's good. That's right.
Is the benefit worth the consequences? If not, don't do it.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. Yep.
You look at things thoroughly from the beginning to the end. Don't just say, oh, this looks good. What's going to happen if? And then what if? And then what if? And then another thing is always have a plan B and a plan C.
Right, because you never know. And those are great. That's some great life. You are affecting their lives by giving that advice because there's no other way to see things. You looking at things from the beginning to the end in a young mind, it might not click, but that advice at some point is going to hit them. Yeah. Because every piece of advice, like my father gave me when he passed away, I live it now. At 25 years old, it just it hit me all at once, and I became everything that I did. I got tired of hearing him speak. You get what I'm saying? I became that. Because it went into my subconscious. It's like he was pounding it and he knew. And so then I became that fair person, that person who cared. He even would give me advice like, Stephanie, when you see a person with a struggle, realize that that's the child. There was a child. They were a child at one time that is struggling with something that is traumatic, that has impacted them from their childhood. So that's how you see people. It was like, look beyond their fault and seek their need, just like Yeshua, just like God does for us. So we have to definitely do that. Is there something you wish people understood better about families affected by addiction?
That it wasn't a choice.
Right on. Yes, true.
It is not a choice. My daughter, it's not even her choice. That was not her choice. I don't know. Now it's her choice to get clean. And she's doing great, by the way. All
right. I'm happy to hear that.
And she had this brand new baby. And
mine is too. Good. Mine is in recovery too.
Girl, she over here at the Dream Center in Los Angeles.
We'll definitely. Oh, yeah. So tell me about the Dream Center. What is that?
Trip this. So the Dream Center is the big hospital, and they turned this hospital into a facility for people who have addictions, homelessness. I mean, the programs are wonderful. She's in the program. She can stay there for 1 year, her and the kids, and they help her get back on her feet. Guess what that hospital used to be?
What?
Queen of Angels.
Oh, wow.
Guess who was born at Queen of Angels Hospital?
Wow.
I was.
Listen. And the name of it is Queen of Angels.
Yes, in 1961, I was born at Queen of Angels Hospital. I showed my daughter. I said, oh, you didn't believe me? I broke up the microfiche birth certificate.
Okay, that is awesome. I think that's amazing. I love that.
Life cycles. I started there, and so is she. Her new life is starting here, too. And that's what awesome. I told her. That's why things happen. I believe things happen for a reason.
And that's a trip because our children at the same time were going through the same thing. And now we haven't spoken.
Right.
Okay, so at the exact same time, my son is in the state program in Orange County. And it's an amazing program. And they take him to the studio and he makes music every week. He does, he loves doing that. And at first I was like, well, you need to be, and then I said, you know what, baby steps. I'm just happy that he's off the streets. He's off the streets.
Let the process,
yes. And I let God have him. That's the key. I let God have him because I can't do it. I can't do it.
That's what I told her. When I found out she was pregnant, and I had 2 of her kids, and I put her in the facility. I said, you stay here for 1 year. You're going to sign this paper saying that you agree to stay here for 1 year and that I have custody. That way I can get more help with the kids from the government, right? As long as I have some signed paperwork to take to the courts.
Right.
We got all that, right? 2 months later, 2 months in, oh, Mom, I'm pregnant and I'm keeping the baby. Oh, that's a deal breaker, baby, because you know what? If you think that you can just go off into this place and have a baby and leave me with these 2 that you've already created, you got life twisted. Check this out. You finna take them all and raise them in that facility because they have another program. Scooted her butt right over to the other side. She like, Mom, I don't want to have the baby and bring him home to a rehab. You should have thought about that before you started doing them drugs.
Let me tell you something. That baby is an angel baby. And that baby was purposed for such a time as this.
Let me tell you
that baby shifted things. Do you understand me?
And
that baby was no accident.
That mindset. Oh,
that
God don't make mistakes.
What's the baby's name?
Her name is Jaira Rose.
Oh, the beautiful name.
Jirah. It's biblical. Jaira Rose.
That is beautiful.
Beautiful name?
Yes, I love that. If you had, because we're going to sign off in a second, if you had any words that you could say to Rudy, because he went through a lot that you will never know about.
Exactly.
There are stories that Rudy has
that I would probably blow my mind.
Because trust me, my son has told me some, and they're heartbreaking. They put themselves in those scenarios, and if there's something that you could say to Rudy right now, that she sees this, because she needs to be proud of you too. Trust me, it's going to come a point where she realizes everything that you've done a lot for years. What would you say?
Baby, there is no judgment from my heart on you. I love you no matter what. I am a unconditional mom. I had to let you go so that you wouldn't hurt yourself anymore. I had to. I had to make you step up. And right now, I am so proud of you. I cannot express the pride that I have in you. That's why I check on you every day or every other day or every 2-3 days to make sure that if you need anything, I'm there. And just know that for the rest of your life, I'm always there. And I'm going to always love you, no matter what. You're doing so good. I'm loving you, no matter what.
I love that. This is stamped now, forever. This will go down in history. She will always be able to reference this podcast,
that her mama loves her.
Recording, and that she already knows that. She knows her mama loves her.
I hope she does. I hope because I do. I love her.
She's a button. She's always been a button. What are you doing for yourself? You're free. Of course, the mind still, you have the concerns, but you know how to give that to God. What are you doing for you now?
I have to learn how to take care of myself now. You heard me say learn. I've been working and doing jobs for families. I don't want to work no more, so I got to figure out how I can take care of me. Right.
Are you still cooking?
Girl, I cook every day.
Yeah, I'm talking about, are you still on that path of like you would...
I'm trying to get these cookies out this door for the holidays. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know.
I want to make it easier. I don't want to do the big dinner spreads. I want to do packaged desserts, pies, and cookies. So let me tag my page.
Okay.
Food, IG page, food, FOOD _by Steff, STEFF.
Okay.
You can give me orders there for cookies and pies, or Steff with 2 S, STEFWIT, the number 2 FZ. Steff with 2 Fs.
I'll post it. I'll make sure I put it up. We'll have that put in. I'll edit that in there. Perfect. Well, you know what? This has been a blessing. So we're going to have to do a part 2 because you have a journey that we need to speak about with the cancer and the aneurysm.
And that is still is a journey, yeah.
Yes, it's a healing journey. And really appreciate you being transparent, sharing your story with me right now, because we need to get these stories out for other families to have a duration.
Yeah, and just know it's not their fault. No. I'm not mad at her.
No, I know you're not.
Although my emotions went that way sometimes because she did make me angry at the moment.
Yeah, they tested. Listen, you can go to blows with a kid.
And we did. We went there. Look, We went there.
Yeah, you could go to Blows and they do some really outlandish stuff. And that is the addiction speaking, the sickness. And we know what I just she turned me on to some music.
Girl.
She's you have some richly talented children. So I know Rudy's gonna be all right. Listen.
I do too.
We got this.
She's blessed. She's blessed.
Thank you for making it on here with me. I appreciate it. And I look forward to having you again. I love you. Thank you for watching this episode of Steph Talk TV. Stay tuned for episode 2 as we take a deep dive into the mind of an addict. See you then.